All right, guys, what's going on? Halftime in Morgantown, Iowa State and West Virginia tied up at 17. Want to thank our great sponsors, of course, Karl Chevrolet. You saw them right there, Des Moines and Moines Eye Care. I actually got these Blu-ray blocking glasses from them. Check them out. And, of course, Nebraska Furniture Mart in Clive. All right, let's dig right into it. Stansbury's here to help because I'm probably not – if you watch the pregame show, I'm sorry. I was just coughing for 15 straight minutes. So Stansbury's going to help keep us on track today with former Iowa State quarterback Bret Meyer. And first of all, Jared, I'll let you kind of start because I thought you made a really good point. I mean, it's 17-17. Like, it kind of feels like I'll take that right now, right? Like it kind of feels like Iowa State should be losing this game.
Yeah, I think when you just look at, outside of the two big plays, Iowa State's had a really tough time being able to get anything sustainable on the offensive side. And then the defense, we know that they're not ever going to be, too incredibly stout early on in a game. You could just tell they needed to make some adjustments. It looked like they've done that a little bit here towards the tail end of the first half, but just got to keep moving forward. But like I said, I told you guys off the air, it feels like a victory to be tied at 17 because we know how good that Iowa State usually is at holding people off the board once the second half starts.
Let me follow up and throw that to Brett. It does feel a little different to me this week, Brett. Like with Rose being out, I'm like, I agree with Jared. They made adjustments and they'll keep doing it. But I don't know, like, and Jared, I want you to answer this too. Like, it feels like I'm a little less comfortable being like, oh, they won't score a touchdown in the second half this week compared to what I usually am.
Yeah, I mean, when you have somebody like Mike Rose, who's one of, he's probably maybe is the best player we have on our entire team, and not having him out there is a huge. I mean, that can affect everybody, offense, defense, obviously special teams and coaches, the way you call defense, and he's one of the best players in the country, and not having him hurt. So we'll see. I mean, sometimes when they make adjustments at halftime, that's based on what your players can handle. So we'll see if some of the backups can handle the adjustments that we want to make. And offensively, we're going to have to pick it up. Everybody, when you're missing somebody that important, it's not just whatever side of the ball that needs to step it up. Offensively, we've got to help make up for that too.
Jared, same question to you. I mean, that's just my gut. I don't know. It feels like it feels to me this is going to be a dogfight in the second half. Like a gut here.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing that I've seen so far that would make me think anything else. But I think the thing that they miss right now from Rose is as good as he is one-on-one and making plays by himself, when you see so often where Iowa State will hit people towards the line of scrimmage and he comes in and he cleans it up. It doesn't feel like they've got that guy right now. The tackling has been suspect from especially the second and third level at this point. Like, you got to do better with those guys. The group with Gary Vaughn, Eric Horn, and Deshaun Davis, I feel like they've struggled a little bit coming in there. Like, you got to have somebody making some plays there in that, the back half of that defense. And but I think that group is experienced enough. Like, those guys have played a lot of football for Iowa State. I don't think they're going to panic or anything like that, even though they are, second string players.
Okay. Stat of the game right now, in my opinion, is third downs. Iowa State 1 for 7, West Virginia 6 for 10. Let's take that into the quarterback play. Not a great half. I think Brock looked as sharp, Brett, in the first half. He's been really good. Like, I mean, he's had A-plus games the last 3 weeks. He's been under duress, a little bit. What was your? It looked a little bit more like September Brock to me. What's your scout on number 15?
Yeah, I mean, there's some games where defensively they're going to make it harder, and I think they're putting some bracket coverages in on Xavier, obviously coming off of his big week, and he's been playing a lot better. And outside of the big run, I think the run game is going to be the key. Brees has had some creases. Obviously, I think the first possession of the game, he broke, but it comes down to, for Brock, just I think when he gets in his rhythms, that's when you start to see, like, all of a sudden you look up and he's completing 80% of his passes. Mm-hmm. And we had the two big plays where he made a great, he extended the play, but I think if he gets into some possessions, we get a couple first downs, and similar to what we see with any offense that's struggling is first, second downs got to be key so we can get third and manageable, and then you can start putting together a drive. Is your third and medium, third and short, and then that's when you can start to open up the playbook, and then all of a sudden the quarterback seems to magically be playing better when there could be some other things that are playing into why we're struggling.
You mentioned the run game. So Brees has 10 carries, 81 yards. He had the 70-yard touchdown run. So that's 9. The rest of his carries, that's 9 attempts for 11 yards. That's really terrible.
That's not ideal.
Yeah, that's really, really terrible. And honestly, Jared, like that's it. You go back to last week; they didn't run the ball well last week either. I mean, he averaged 3.3 yards per carry. And it's a good Oklahoma State front, but this is kind of becoming a thing. They're struggling to run the football. It's great that he has the pop, for the 70-yard run, obviously. But I'm right there with Brett, Jared. Like I think that's a huge concern in the second half, for me at least.
I think they got to do a better job of being able to get him to the edge. You saw them get a little bit of a seam the time when they, ran the kind of speed option fake or whatever the pitch, and got him out there right to the corner right away. And I feel like if they can do that better, there's just been so much penetration in the backfield anytime they've tried to run their zone. Like you have to figure out a way to keep those guys from getting into the backfield. He just has nowhere to go. He's just dancing around trying to find anywhere even to be able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a really weird half of football. I felt Brett used a good word, rhythm. It didn't seem like there was much rhythm anywhere in that first half. The turnover was huge. That felt like it kind of changed everything as far as how my morale was going to be at halftime. So Iowa State gets the ball to start the second half, get down there and score 7, and you could make this a fairly comfortable win. We shall see. Brett, we have a couple people asking, are you in your bed? People think that you're
I am. So it's Halloween. We got kids.
I love it.
We got kids in the playroom. We got kids in the office, and then we're carving pumpkins in the kitchen. So
oh god, I did that this morning. Are you a good carver? I'm awful at it.
I'm not the best. I'm pretty good at like getting, cleaning out the pumpkins. That's kind of my role. And then whatever. My brother-in-law likes to bake the pumpkin seeds, which I don't really get much out of that.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
interesting. I didn't know that. No, I made the worst cat staring at the moon earlier today, Jared. Little Elise is too little to even know how horrible of a job her dad did. She thinks that I did well, but I didn't. I can promise you that. Cameron,
I'm glad you're holding yourself accountable and admitting that you didn't live up to your standards.
Oh, it was awful. But like Matt Campbell says, it's like I got to be the best version of myself.
We need our A players to have A games, man. Come on, man.
Are you working and continuing to work to get better? Or not?
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to. I mean, I've let everybody down this year, so I'm going to win in the dark.
Trust the process. Come back and be better tomorrow.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
I'm just glad that we could spend 10 minutes listening to you guys instead of Brandon Whedon at this point.
Okay,
it's so funny. He's just kind of like talking with his buddies. He goes, "Did you hear on the first touchdown?" He goes, "He gone. He gone."
After there'd been no description of the play prior to that, just he's gone. That's all there is.
Interception was the funniest when they just silence.
Like, oh, the best was that interception.
Well, and I love, that was the best part was that the play happened. He says, "Oh, there's 10 more seconds of silence," and then the play-by-play announcer starts freaking out that he caught the ball.
That was on her, having done this enough.
Yeah.
So Whedon is supposed to, that's not his role to describe what happened. I guarantee you I know what happened. Craig McDonald got that pass. She didn't know who Craig McDonald was. Matt, do you have it for us here? I think Matt actually has the call. Let's listen to it.
He was very pleased, said it was their most complete game.
Oh. You had to think that Neil Brown was.
And I think the first
she didn't know who Craig McDonald was, and she's looking at her notes, and he probably wasn't on her 2 deep, which is a ridiculous. Iowa State puts out 1 2 deep, and it's false at the beginning of the year, and they never update it. And he probably wasn't on it. So she was going through her notes trying to find out who got the interception. And poor Brandon Whedon didn't know what to do. So he just goes, oh.
Well, and then he came back and he said, well, it was a great throw.
Yeah.
Well, that's the first analysis he has. Great throw.
Yeah.
As it was tipped up in the air for
What
an
about
interception.
when West Virginia, there was that incomplete pass in the corner of the end zone and she just started going, yeah.
Yeah. This is horrible, dude. Oh, my
Michigan
gosh.
State just won. They beat Michigan.
How much do they win by?
What does
no.
that matter?
Won by 4. What does that matter?
No, you're good. You're good. I was thinking about something else. I won my bet, though. That's all that mattered. The under didn't hit, though.
Elsewhere, Baylor takes care of business against Texas, takes a little bit of sizzle off of next week's game. It really doesn't matter. Texas was never going to be in the Big 12 title hunt, but
Texas is 4-4 now.
Yeah.
They've had double-digit leads in like every game they've lost in the second half.
They're back.
I saw Brian Davis say this one's starting to feel like another lost season. At 4-4
on that now.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Now we're just there.
Maybe a little context about, hey, it's your first year of it.
No, but really, like the takeaway from that is Baylor better lose a game or two here, or
they got to play Oklahoma next. I think they both have a bye next week, and they play Oklahoma.
I mean, I'm just looking for the Big 12 championship game for Iowa State's shot to get there. I mean, it's
we have to win out and have them. Baylor has one loss, right?
Yeah. So Iowa State needs Baylor to start racking up some losses here if we're gonna have a shot to get back to Arlington. All right, boys. I'm shot. I can't talk anymore. What else do you guys got? Anything? Or are you good?
Nope, we're good.
All right.
Good score early in the half.
Yep.
Yeah. Go down there, score on the first possession, and hopefully we can relax a little bit. Y'all got trick or treating tonight, Brett, up there in Minnesota?
I think the actual day's tomorrow, but we do like a thing with our cul-de-sac. When I say we, I mean Mom set it up. So
wow, look at you, just like
put it on my calendar, tell me where and when I need to be, and
that's the way to do it. Yeah. So they'll do it tonight in the neighborhood we live in this town. Like, well, I'm not kidding. We'll have 400 trick or treaters tonight.
It's crazy.
Matt lives in, it's insane. Like, I try and tell people when they move
to
town,
like 4 more bags of candy because I didn't think we had enough.
Yeah, it's insane, and they keep coming, and it's just, and then it's just a great excuse for the parents to get drunk. Like, tonight's going to be
the parents in our neighborhood hand out Fireball and what do you call it, apple cider mix.
Sounds like just what your immune system needs, C-Dub.
Yeah. Oh my God,
does help. Yeah, Fireball is good for your throat.
I don't even want to drink. That's the last thing I want to do right now. It sounds awful. But all right.
Close.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all. Bret Meyer, Jared Stansbury, Matt Van Winkle. I'll have instant reaction for you after the game on the Cyclone Fanatic podcast feed. And then Jared and Rob Gray will have the postgame show coming up about an hour after the game right here on the Cyclone Fanatic stream. All right. Have a fun second half. Enjoy, and we'll talk to you guys after the game. Later.